Good morning if you are just coming on board. Good morning. Good morning. I am grateful to God. I thank God. I am grateful to God. And thank you all of you as well. Thank you for coming on board. Thank you. Thanks to all of you for coming on board. He did. He did. He went well. I am grateful to God. I am grateful. Thank you, everybody. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Before I start, I want to show my appreciation. I want to show my appreciation to those who deserve to receive it from me. I want to show my appreciation. And give me a second. I think I have good news again for those who need it. You know. And you see it like this. It's good news. I want to show my utmost appreciation to the Igbos. I want to show my appreciation before starting this program. I want to recognize very, very good Nigerian citizen with a big, huge thank you to them, especially the Rotarians at the Agbara district. The Rotarians at the Agbara district, I want to recognize you, and especially Chief Arere and Chief Emereze, Chief Patrick Emereze and Chief Arere, the Rotarians, both two of them. And this is another reason why I said to you, Nigerian can never be broken and it can never be pieces. It will continue to be one, no matter what people say. The Igbo Queen, I appreciate you so, so much. And I say thank you to Rotarian Patrick and Rotarian Arere, both of which are Igbo origin, but lives in Lagos at Agbara, and they own and control the district. These are the movers and shakers of the Unilever, anywhere you want to talk of all the factories, businesses around there, they are huge guys. So I sent my gratitude to these two people, and I say thank you to them. Chief Patrick Rotarian and then Chief Arere, both of you. I say thank you to both of you. Anywhere your children goes, they will continue to receive assistance from the people they know and the people that they don't know. They will continue to receive help. Both of you, you hold a place in my heart. When the destiny is fulfilled, there are some people that will be around it to assist that destiny to be fulfilled. I am grateful to both of you. And both of you, fortunately enough, you are not Yoruba. You are complete Igbo man. This is the second time in my career, in my journey of life, that the Igbo people will help me. When I wanted to train as a solicitor in this country, in the United Kingdom, it was the Igbo people that trained me, that lifted me, that helped me. Again, you have come again to prove yourself. Igbo Queen. Igbo Queen. Igbo Queen. Why would I not love you, the Igbos? If one of you hurts me, I will overlook because of the rest that are helping, or because of the rest that have helped in the past. So I hold it to you, Igbo Queen, and I say thank you to Rotarian Patrick and Rotarian Arere. These are the movers and shakers of the Agbara district. This one cannot leave Nigeria. These people are comfortable and happy. And when we say some people have change without making noise, without showing it, I think I see it now. They have it, they never show it. The most important thing is that they helped me. They proved themselves that they are human beings. They proved themselves that they are human. And they proved to me that I worth it, my portfolio worth it, my profile worth me. So I say thank you to the Igboneku. I say thank you, Igbo Queen. I thank you and I appreciate you. To my very utmost lady, Rotarian Annie, you started the journey and you did it very well. You connect me to the chiefs, and the chiefs prove themselves without allowing anybody to become an hindrance in the journey of my life. They prove themselves. So I am grateful to Rotarian Eniola Ushe, my dear, Mrs. Babalola. Thank you so, so much, my dear Rotarian. I love you, and I cannot love you less. UK is my territory, so when you arrive in next week, you will meet me in my territory. This is my territory. Trust me. Ladies and gentlemen, good morning to you and welcome on board. My name has not changed, Lawyer Tokunbo Olagbaye. If you look at the topic we put out there, it is a serious problem. It's a serious matter. Whether you are a man or a woman, I don't really want to do my topic with sentiment. I want to do this topic straightforward, according to the way it's meant to be done. If you put 10 children down in Nigeria, one of them will require DNA test, and one of them will not be the child of the dad taking care of him or her. Put 10 children down in Nigeria, and 3 out of 10 men father children that are not theirs. 3 out of 10 men fathered children that are not theirs in Nigeria. I am shocked. In fact, I am still in shock, bemused, and perhaps use the word flabbergasted to note that the Nigerian women have now gone so gaga to the extent that you give a child to the wrong man, a child that belongs to a particular man, because of money. You give that child to another man because of money. But while you were sleeping with that man, you never thought of it that it can lead to pregnancy at any time. You were short in memory and you were short in thinking. When the pregnancy occurs, you now decide to give it to the wrong man instead of the appropriate biological father that actually owns that pregnancy. And it is not that the owner of the pregnancy denied it. There was none of that. So I am not really too sure why this is a huge problem in Nigeria. I am not really too sure. Do we want to say it's poverty or lack of education or uncare attitude? Yes, I am not really too sure. Lately, several incidents occurred that reveals that many children in Nigeria need to go through DNA tests. Many children in Nigeria, a lot of men are just fathering a child that is not theirs, and they are paying their school fees heavily overseas, sending them everything, doing everything. But at the end of the day, the true father appear. Now let's go into it one by one before my time, because I have time to run quickly because I have a lot of work on my desk. But because this is a topic that is bothering my mind, I find it necessary to treat it now before it goes off my heart. A woman died. A woman died. And she has 3 children. After her death, the father of those children, which is the presumed father, has nothing to worry about because it's always been their father since they were born. Always been there for them, taking care of them. They're living in the same house together. Unfortunately, there's a real biological father fathering, those things from the beginning and just bring the pregnancy to the guy in the house. So she actually has another person. So it's like a woman is married and then keeping another man. So have 2 husbands. I thought in those days they said it's only men can have 2 wives and have girlfriends and have this and have that and get away with it. But it appears nowadays, the way things are now going, it is so obvious. It is so obvious that women, some of them, because I would not want us to generalize, some women are keeping 2 men, 3 men at the same time. Two men, 3 men. So the original father turned up. The original father turned up to say, I want to have my children. The dad in the house say, excuse me, what are you talking about? Which children are you having? So they challenge each other to DNA. They challenge each other to DNA. So they were compelled to do DNA test. The truth of the paternity test reveals that the one that turned up from outside is the biological father of those 3 children. The one that turned up from outside is the biological father of the 3 children. Why the one inside is just an ATM. The one inside is just part of the ATM or part of the house boy helping in the house. The real man, the real husband, the one she loves, the one she loves dearly with her heart, it's outside. For one strange reason, could be the family, could be herself, that lacks credibility, lacks dignity, doesn't have the morale to control what she wants for herself. It was after her death when the real father turned up to come and claim his children. Then they were forced to go into DNA, paternity test. The DNA test reveals 99.999%. The one from outside is the real father. So it basically turned up that the late woman and the man that turned up from outside, they have been involved in a long secret love affair that produced the 3 children that he, the husband in the house, erroneously believe belonged to him. Ladies and gentlemen, the DNA test is the only way for you now to know whether you are a father to the child or not. In a situation like this in Nigeria, it will matches with repercussion, yes. In a situation like this, the only way to come out of this nonsense is to do DNA. If you don't do DNA, you will end up spending money to the wrong channel. You will waste your time, waste your sweat, waste everything that you have. And at the end of the day, you will not get anything from it. Because the biological father will turn up and he will claim his children. He will claim his child. He will claim his children. So before you start your nonsense spending, before you bury your head into a relationship, good morning, my dear. Good morning. How are you? Before you bury yourself into a relationship that you know that it is not yours, or the kids are not yours, or you're not certain, especially when you see a woman that is not being straightforward, playing games, you need to conduct DNA. When she tells you that she's pregnant, ask for DNA test once the child is born. Once that child is born, if you don't ask for DNA test, then that's your problem. Because it is the woman that will know who is the father of her child. It is not the man, it is the woman that knows. And let me tell you, every woman knows the father of their child. Believe me, they know. So the perception here is that the paternity fraud is so high now in Nigeria, and it's not unfounded. The report has now shown that the rate of paternity fraud in Nigeria is high. So when you are conducting a paternity test, don't let the woman take you to a hospital of her choice. You need to take the woman to hospital of your choice. If you are a man if you are a man, don't let the woman take you to hospital of her choice, because they will deface the DNA. They will deface it. So if you don't understand, we are telling you now, even the channel's news talk about this last week when I was on ground. And they prompt me to the idea that I need to deal with this quickly on my platform. I need to talk about this. Yes. So we're not in a debate whether a woman is adulterous or not. We are in a situation whereby the advice is, once you are suspicious of something, once you are not certain, once you are worried, put the worried aside. Conduct DNA test immediately. In fact, I am just receiving from some practitioners here, possibly that it can be done while the child is still in the womb. Yes. So you don't start spending money on things that doesn't even worth it. We are sending our report down to entry clearance. Every DNA must be conducted on all passports issued. Every DNA must be conducted on every child bringing into United Kingdom by the sponsor that claim is the father or the mother. A DNA must be done. When you are instructing DNA, ensure that DNA is instructed by you. And use your own, make sure you use your own hospital. Use your own practitioner of your choice as a man. Listen, I'm a woman and I know what I'm talking about. Yes. Because the life of the children is what is being messed up in this arena, in this situation. Now, these children that I'm talking about, they have grown so much to note the father in the house is their father, the man in the house. But unfortunately, the result is the other way. The result is the reverse. It is not the same thing they are thinking. The father of the children are the one outside that the mother has been having a long-term secret love affairs with. A long-time love affair. A long-time secret love affair. Which basically means that while she's in the marriage, she also have another man servicing her thing there. Servicing her thing. So it was her death that prompted to the idea of conducting a paternity test. It was on her death. When the other man just turned up, the other man turned up from nowhere. And that is how it became apparent that they have to go through the paternity test. Of course. Yes, of course. So the statistics has now continue to show clearly. You know, the DNA paternity tests are now the only way to unravel. Is the only way to unravel the doubts. So even if you are keeping family secret, it is not as easy as it used to be anymore. Because just one DNA test, it will change everything for better or for worse. And we have seen so many scenarios when the dad took them to the entry clearance for a passport to be issued. The father is a British citizen and the father got the British passport before the children were born. So the father wanted to apply a British passport. So they asked for DNA test. They asked for evidence that he is the father. On getting the DNA test done, it happens that 3 out of those 4 children, then they were not his again. 3 from the 4 children were not his. Only 1 is for him. The rest are not easy. So the rate of paternity fraud in Nigeria is so high. Let me read what Taye put there. The rate of paternity fraud is high in Nigeria because in the process servicing microloans, some women obtain LAPO. Well, we will not be able to read all those things. They are ready to do anything. I learned that at times some are okay. So when we're talking about the issue of paternity test, it is now very important. In fact, the significance of conducting DNA tests in Nigeria is huge now, and it's high. The rate is quite high for DNA now because some women they have gone in a way that they cannot control things by themselves. So as a result of that, there is a mix-up somewhere. There's a mix-up. And in times of this, even the Nigerian Vanguard investigation revealed that traditionally in Nigeria, paternity of a child is commonly determined by acknowledgement, presumption, or by proof in Nigeria. By acknowledgement, presumption, or by proof. So probably the most common mode of paternity is by acknowledgement. Once a man admits he is the father of a child, the case is closed. But the case cannot be closed. If a man admits, then when a man admits, it basically means that the man knows what is going on and accepted that. It's either the man has a problem, ejaculation problem, and as a result of that, a beggar has no choice than to take whatever is given. So he knew, because he knew his personal circumstances cannot produce. So in that aspect, it will be collaboration, something that they have come together to agree. Instead of you putting yourself in that kind of scenario and messed up your journey of life, why don't you adopt child or children? Why don't you do adoption? Because if you accept someone else's child as yours, the father will turn up by law, by right, traditionally, at any time to claim his child. Possibly he has a problem somewhere and they told him that your child is somewhere, go and claim it. And until you bring that child to the house, you may not be, your problem may not be able to be resolved. And of course, if he is the biological father of the child, with paternity test proven, he will come for you and get the child. He will definitely come and get the child. So what are we talking about? What are we talking about? So the only way out of this scenario to curb this problem, if there's a problem in that man's biological processing, production, then I am going to be saying that, why don't you and your wife come together and adopt a child? The children you adopted will give you peace of mind that the one you are just claiming to be yours when the owner is still alive and existing. So I will not necessarily give an advice in that area. To control the problem of DNA fraud in Nigeria, paternity fraud in Nigeria, the man must be able to choose. The man must be able to choose the hospital that he wants to get this thing done by himself. Adoption will solve the problem if the man is struggling with low count sperm. If the man is struggling with low sperm count and the woman truly loved her husband, there is surrogacy there. So you can do surrogate. If one of you can, if the man cannot, if it is you that you cannot carry it, the surrogate there. So you have to look at every options available that will enable you to do this perfectly. If you don't do that, you might be putting yourself into a scenario of problem. Let me allow that my lady to enter, because I think all of them, they have swapped keys. So, like I'm saying, yes, there's alternative there again. IVF. You can look into IVF as well. You know, you can look at IVF. That is the involuntary whatever treatment that they are doing nowadays, you know. But it depends on your age. Once you have reached age of 40, you might struggle to get it done. Once you have reached age of 40, there could be a kind of challenging. You know, you can meet some challenges during the process. You know, so when you are considering doing something like that, it has to be done when the woman is about certain age. But both of you must have been fully tested and realize that, yes, there's a problem here and the medical advice will be given at the appropriate time. If you presume to be the father of a child once the child is born within wedlock, that is what it's supposed to be. That is what it's supposed to be. A man is presumed to be the father of the child, you know, within wedlock. But the situation of nowadays, I am not really too sure what it means to be. And that is why it is advisable in a doubt, in any situation where there is doubt about the presumption of the right father or the father of the child, then the father should be asking for a DNA. But you will only ask for a DNA as the last resort in your marriage. In your marriage. When a man is married to a woman like us, that we're young, both of us are young, we've never had one before, come together, it will be difficult to ask for DNA. The situation why majority asks for DNA nowadays is when you have previously had some children and you are still going out there, you're not trustworthy, you know, you said things, we don't meet you with what you said, you know, things I've said, you know. So it's a bit of situation. It's a bit of situation. So the only way to resolve the problem when there is a doubt, you know, in most cases, you know, when there is dispute, counterclaims of paternity have been making the rounds, so much noises, then exactly. So the only way to control the disputes, counterclaims is DNA. Get the DNA done. It is often said, it is often said that a woman is in the best position to identify the father of her child. It's a saying and it is true. It is not just a make-up story, it is real. It is often said that a woman is best placed in the position to identify the father of her child. So, once a woman fingers a particular man, case closed. Case closed. Case closed. So, if you're dealing with one man and it's not two men, then you're okay. You don't have to do DNA. And if they ask for DNA, listen, if my husband asks for DNA of any of my child, yeah, I will give him DNA 100%, but I will never trust him again. I will never disclose my life with him again. I will never share my life with him again. I will never trust him again. So you can look at that kind of situation. If my husband turned up overnight and said, Tokunbo, can I have DNA test on that child? Which child? Or on all your children? There's a problem. You can see where I'm coming from. There's a problem already. And in that scenario, I will give him the 100% DNA of his choice. He will go and get it done anywhere he wants to do it. I will follow him. But let me warn him ahead. I will never again in my life share my life with him. Because there is a problem somewhere, somehow, somebody is talking something that is not factual, that is not real. So in that kind of scenario, you can tell straight away that he will never get what he wanted again. Because there's a problem already of trust. relationship of trust. So that's a different ball game entirely. If any woman is just in a situation like that, like me, your husband cannot turn up and come and ask you. The type of woman that a man will ask for a DNA are there separately. Not all women that any man can turn up and say, give me DNA. No, it is not possible. But there are certain female out there. They will turn up, husband, partner will turn up at any time, at any moment, and say, give me DNA. Yeah, Lagbada, please, your heavy heartbeat is affecting my network here. So that is the situation. So it depends on a woman, and it depends on relationship, depends on marriage, depends on what you have done to each other, what you have started, what you are doing. That will basically, prompt the idea of a request of a paternity test. So it is not every woman. A man cannot just turn up and say, give me DNA to people like us, to someone like her there. That is not possible. There are some scenarios when a man is supposed to ask for DNA, 100% backup. You turn up, you don't fight that kind of woman. Let her deliver the child successfully, and then you throw the child into DNA. You throw it into DNA paternity test. Oh, they might want to tell you and say, oh, you don't trust me. Don't care about that. Throw the child into paternity test. And when you throw child into paternity test, make sure it's your own doctor you use. Yes, make sure it is your own doctor that you will use. But if a man just turn up into his marriage that he started with his own 2 hands from the beginning, and then asking for DNA, then there's a problem prompting it. There's a problem somewhere. Give him the DNA. Give him the DNA. But I would say to you that once you get the fact right, that the DNA shows accurate results, there's a relationship problem there, because you will never trust him again. And you will never want to share your heart with him again. Thank you, my dear. Thank you. So it's a bit dicey, and it depends on how you look at it. But of course, DNA is an issue in Nigeria. My cousin went to Nigeria and met a lady, and they both later marry and later have a child together to say they request for a DNA at the British Embassy to get a visa to travel to the UK. So the DNA test came negative. So it's not his. Let me read it properly. My cousin went to Nigeria and met a lady, and they both later marry and later have a child together. So the request for a DNA test at the British Embassy to get a visa to travel to UK. So the DNA test came negative. So I don't know where to start and where to end my conversation today, but I'm saying categorically that 3 out of 10 Nigerian men fathers children that are not theirs. 3 out of 10 Nigerian men are not biological fathers of their children. 3 out of 10, and that is high. That is a high proportion, high rate. If 3 out of 10 is like that, then there is a problem. There's a huge problem. It's a huge problem. So I'm going to be giving that advice to that respect, that it is moral, scientifically, and legally correct when there is a concern. Morally, scientifically, legally correct to request for a DNA test. It is correct. It is correct. It is not a problem. It is not out of proportion. It is not waywardness. It is not whatever you want to call it. Morally, scientifically, and legally correct to request for it. So you can go ahead. Because if you don't go ahead, the British Embassy later on in life, the entry clearance officer later on in life, or something later on in life, will prompt to the idea to let the man know that you're not that is not the father. For example, the child may be sick. The child may be sick and be in hospital, and a kind of a blood test is required for them to check, and then they will later on tell the man that you're not the father, we have done DNA. We have conducted tests. They will take the father's swab, take the child swab. And when you take the child swab and take the father's swab, and at the end of the day, they took it to the laboratory and they came back with a result to show that you're not the father. That's going to be a big shock of your life, a huge one. And that can disarray your life. So it is better if there is a concern, get it done at the beginning. Get it done at onset. Do the DNA. If you don't do DNA, you end up fathering somebody else's child. Waste of time, waste of ability, waste of energy, waste of everything. And emotionally, it can send you to your early grave. Yes. That can definitely send you to your early grave if care is not taken. So, ladies and gentlemen, I give the advice, and I'm saying that whenever there is a doubt, throw the situation into paternity test. And that is the only way to come out of this nonsense. So don't father someone else's child. It's a huge problem. You know, it's a huge problem in Nigeria, and the earlier the better. Exactly. The earlier the better. So that is what I would say. Someone said, Stephanie said there is big and massive breakdown in many marriages, most especially in poverty-growing countries. I said it, yes. The moral value in Nigeria is deteriorating. Yes. That's exactly what the statistics said. That is what is coming up. The Vanguard, the Channel News, everywhere. It's everywhere. When I come out to talk about topic, I don't pick it from hearsay. I don't pick a topic on hearsay. I pick a topic on research. I deal with a topic on my research. And that is what is happening at the moment. So the moral value, like you have said rightfully, is deteriorating in Nigeria. And something needs to be done to correct it. Everyone lives their lives because there's no checks and balances. Now, you are a manager of your destiny. It depends on how you hold it. But you don't want to be in your grave and the children are cursing you in your grave. They are spitting on you in your grave. So you need to do the needful, do the right thing for the dignity of your children in future. If you are one of those that are in that situation, do the right thing. Let the right father know that the child is his or her. Yes, is. So that there will be no problem later on for you after you have gone to your ancestors. Everything we do today, it is not for today, but for tomorrow. Our parents have done theirs, and we are living on it today. So let us leave a good legacy for our children and our grandchildren. Ladies and gentlemen, I have to go. I want to appreciate all of you. I want to say thank you for coming on my platform, but I have got to go. I appreciate you, the Rotarians at the District 9110, Agbara. Thank you so much for having me. Thank you for inducting me. Thank you for enrolling me to become part of you. I feel privileged because without belonging, the portfolio cannot complete. I am grateful. Thanks to all of you. And Yola Mioshigani, my dear. I am waiting for you on ground. So as soon as you land, you will have me to have a word with. You have godmother in England. Don't worry. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. Yes, at work, even me. Thank you. Thank you, guys. Thank you. Yes. Yes. Take care, guys. Take care, guys. God bless you. Bye.